Alright, so my last video I was just talking about some stuff, just talking. That's what a lot of these videos are going to be, I guess, until I make some real content. This video, I am going to try and make it like a real video. So, uh, yeah. Um, what I wanted to talk about in this video, or what I am talking about in this video, is this book called The Creative Act, A Way of Being. I think it's a really good book. Uh, The cover is very simple, very clean. It looked interesting. It's a pretty thick book too. I took a peek at the chapters whenever I pick up a book. Um, I just kind of look at the chapters and see what the book has in it before I actually buy it. But this one seemed pretty interesting. So I'm kind of just going to be talking about some insights and stuff that I got from this book. Uh, which it's a lot of very interesting insights, I would say. Um, I'm standing up right now, so I don't know how else I can talk about this book. But let's see here. Where shall I start? Where should I start? I guess I'll start with. I'm obviously not gonna talk about every single chapter because there's quite a bit of chapters, which each is like a few pages long, and then it even has. Let's see. Some pages it just has like little, like, I guess you could say, quotes in a way, ideas, um, stuff like that. Uh, which I could see what the author tried to go with here. He did a really good job on it. And explaining creativity in a book where he created and got creative with it in a way. That's kind of what happened. Um, so, first off, I'm going to be oh, my elbow had to crack that. Um, let's talk about the first little bit, which is mostly talking about the source of creativity. Everyone is a creator. Uh, the source of creativity isn't on this physical plane. It's somewhere else. So, um, ideas come down and then we express them through our bodies in a way. That's kind of how creativity works. Um, so everyone has a different creative act. That's kind of what the book gets at. So me, I would be like working out, doing jujitsu, making YouTube videos, making a blog. That would kind of be my creativity. That's how I express myself and my creativity. Um, Reading in a way as well, and then I express that through YouTube videos, and I also express myself through YouTube videos. So I don't just do it just because it comes from an idea. It comes from a preconceived notion that then makes me want to express myself in a way. And everybody's like that. And you can get really deep with this. You know, I don't know the source of my own creativity. I have to look inside and figure it out. But I still create. Um, Everyone creates something. Uh, so yeah, that's what the first little bit talks about. Um, which, if you wanted to truly like create something, you can tune into that little creativity in your, I want to say brain. It's technically in your brain, but you can tune into that little frequency of creativity and express that outside. So I've heard people do it through meditation and stuff. You can kind of tune into the source. and then it kind of helps you in your craft. It does talk about your craft and the work throughout the book, which would be like whatever you do that creates, whether that's drawing or writing or working out, exercising, something like that. So another thing is this all connects to like what you do creativity wise. So I talked about the subconscious. So like I said before, you can kind of tap into your subconscious to help create a little bit better. Self-doubt. I think a lot of people deal with self-doubt when they create. Oh, I can't do this, or oh, I'm not worth this or that, blah blah blah. Um, it's just doubting yourself and your creativity. It talks about that. Distraction, collaboration, and intention, which all correlates to whatever you do. Um, I think this all relates to flow. So if you have something you do creative-wise, you can almost, there's a flow to it. Which some people get carried away by that flow, and some people just follow the flow and go with the flow. Um, where other people, well, yeah, they may get distracted, or um, maybe somebody else comes into that flow and then you start collaborating. Um, Stuff like that. So I think a lot of this stuff does also, I'm surprised there isn't um, a chapter on flow that I'm seeing. Uh, but I think that would have been a good one to have. It's just flowing with your creative nature in a way. Uh, Beginner's mind, that's another thing. Everybody starts at somewhere. If you have an idea and you want to express it, but you don't know where to start, it is better just to start instead of just like waiting around. But that's not what the beginner's mind is. The beginner's mind was once you start something, you almost get that initial euphoria feeling of like starting it. You're like, oh yes, I'm starting something new. And then once you get into it, it kind of loses its initial feeling of excitement when you first started. It doesn't get boring. It just gets a little bit different, let's say. Um, Habits. I think there's habits that can also help alongside your creativity. So with working out, that would be like drinking protein, getting your protein in, eating healthy, clean foods and stuff like that. So it talked about habits. Seeds. It talked about seeds, which is a very interesting concept. Uh, what you call it? You plant a seed for, you have an idea. An idea could be a seed. Let's say that seed doesn't sprout until a year or two from now. So for an example, this YouTube video could be a seed as well. I plant the video. This one's probably not going to get a lot of views. I'm not 100% sure. Uh, but you plant the seed and then it might sprout eventually. Maybe not. I just got a weird noise in my ear, but um, this YouTube video can be a seed for something bigger and better. You plant that seed, and then it might not sprout until a year from now. Not this exact video, but just the making of the video. It can lead to a better video, or it could lead to, let's say, for an example, 10,000 subscribers. I don't know. but I'm planting the seed right now, which will eventually sprout. Um, I'm just using myself as an example because that's the best thing I can do right now. Is just use myself as an example. But I'm trying to think of other examples that would benefit you. Um, but let's just say working out as another example because that's something I can relate to, and it makes sense. Let's say you first go to the gym and then you hit a workout, right? Do some whatever. Um, you're planting the seed for something that could sprout in the future. It's almost like delayed gratification. You plant the seed of the initial workout, and it could sprout into being healthier, having a better heart rate, or more muscle, whatever your intention is. So I think that chapter was very interesting, planting seeds, um, which honestly, I think if you've read Think and Grow Rich, read this book too, and vice versa. Because I think a lot of ideas are almost similar. Because Think and Grow Rich also talked about being careful with the seeds that you sow. Um, I've definitely planted some bad seeds in my life at some point, and you can plant good ones too. Um, it's just being mindful of the seeds that you're planting. Uh, Crafting and momentum, it's like technically the very first video I've made on YouTube. I kind of got into the momentum and kept wanting to do it and kept crafting them. So that's another thing. Point of view, perspective. Not everybody is going to have the same perspective. Um, Even on yourself, there's a lot of people that don't like me out there, but then there's a lot of people that love me. Um, it's all about perspective, not just me, but in your craft, in your work. You might doubt yourself, so you don't start something. You don't start working out, or you don't start eating healthy. So you doubt it, and then eventually your perspective changes, and then you're like, something clicks, and then you're just like, oh, I'm gonna start working out now. um, Completion. It talked about completion, which I think it said that nothing is ever really completed. Uh, I can. I'm relating a lot of stuff to working out right now because that's the thing that I have the most experience in, I guess you can say, and it's something easy to relate to, and anybody can understand it. Um, Completion. Nothing is ever really completed. So with working out, even after you attained your physique, you gotta keep going. You know, there's no completion to it. Let's see here. Trying to see. The first thought of this book was really good. The second thought was a little bit more complex, I want to say. Uh, hmm. Which it's all just talking about creativity. Clean slate, which is where you start something. I'm gonna relate this to writing as well. Let's say you're writing a book, 200, and it's 200 pages. Then you scratch that entire thing to start something new, to express whatever initial idea you had to begin with, um, to express it a little bit better. Um, so it's making a clean slate, not really throwing everything away or getting rid of everything or deleting, um, where deletion might come into play. It is almost like refreshing from experience. That's something. Um, And yeah, a lot of this stuff just relates to art and creativity. What is your art? What do you create on a day-to-day basis? Um, how can you make it better? Uh, can you twist it in a different way? Can you change the perspective? Can you make it larger? Can you make it smaller? Can you erase it and then redo it? It's creativity. Um, all of that. So it was a it was a very complex book. It did really get me thinking. Um, but in a good way, obviously. It wasn't nothing crazy. But yeah, the book reflects creativity itself. There's not really an end to the book. You can't really say there's a beginning either. It's just kind of like somebody just or Rick Rubin, not just somebody. Rick Rubin, he's the author. It's just his thoughts put out. He created his thoughts, and then he created the book. Shit's mad interesting. I honestly recommend it. I give it a good 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10 read. I wouldn't really say it's a good self-improvement or self-help book, which, no, it doesn't say on here. It is almost just like I don't know what kind of book you can call it, but yeah, if you create something, if you're a creator, um, which everybody's a creator, it just depends on what you're creating. You could be creating good things, you could be creating bad things. I think this book kind of gets you on the path to create good, better and good things. Um, or if you're already creating something, kind of just changes your perspective on a little bit. Of course, I'm creating a video, but it's a lot more than that. There's a lot more to that than just simply just making a video. There's a whole purpose behind it. There's a whole reason behind it. Stuff like that. That's just what I'm relating to. Of course, not everybody is making YouTube videos, but it's just an example. Um, yeah, that's a short little summary review of the book. I recommend give it a read. Why not? Just give it a read. Um, let's see. It costed $32. I don't think it's bad. I don't think it's bad at all. Like I said, 8 out of 10. Give it a read, and just see what thoughts come to your head. See see what you do after you read the book. See how your perspective is with whatever you do on a day-to-day basis. See how your habits change. See how your habits are. Stuff like that. So yeah, man. I think it's a good book. That's just this video obviously isn't the best video, but you can find one out there. Probably explains the book a little bit better. This is just from my perspective, what I've gotten from the book. Uh, so yeah, just my ideas and thoughts and inspirations that I got from the book. All I really got was how we create on a day-to-day basis, whether that's movement, writing, reading, exercising, jiu-jitsu as a form of creativity, stuff like that, man. So give the book a read. This is just a little review summary video of the book from my perspective, obviously, like I just said. Um, and yeah, I guess I'll leave a link in the description. I'm not affiliated or nothing. I'm just leaving it there just in case you're interested in actually buying it. And yeah, just check it out if you're interested. I think it's a good book to read regardless of what you do. So, yep, that's going to be it.